Hello, hello. Welcome back. So we are on a Whole Lotta Lava in Watopia. And we have a disconnection issue, it seems. Well, let's just muscle through this and hope that it will solve itself out. We'll use this ride as a warm-up because we are planning on jumping into the first race in January, which is going to be Flat as Fast, stage 4. It should not be a really long race, so quite hopeful to be through with this quite quickly. And hopefully I will have enough oxygen in my lungs to give a little bit of commentary. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So for now, we'll just enjoy this ride here. Whole Lotta Lava is about 15K, 15.5K, and 170 meters or so vertical climbing. For those interested, I mentioned a couple of times that I am on this track to try to get this concept bike, the Tron, and I mentioned a couple of times that I'm not quite sure of how many vertical meters I already have, but I actually checked this morning and it's 28,000. So we have 22,000 left for us to get to 50, which is when the Tron bike is going to be released or unlocked. So looking forward to that, but it's still quite a long way to go. It's essentially, going up the Zwift 20 times. That's quite often. So if you consider it takes about 8.5 times to do an Everesting, we have to do 2.5 of those. But we are not pressured for time, so we'll just try to, squeeze in some vertical meters whenever it works for us. And as you know, I don't really worry about these kind of things too much. So we'll get there when we get there. Anyways, so I've been riding in Watopia quite often, but we are now in the lucky position that the other two worlds that are open today, which is Mercury Island and New York, that we actually completed both of those. For those who have seen my recent videos, they will know that we yesterday finished Mercury Island. We did the 4 rides that were left. We did the 3 village loop first, then we did the Kappa quest, where I unfortunately forgot to press the record button. Then we did the Kappa quest reverse, and lastly we did the Spirit Forest. So the day before we finished New York with the last remaining rides were there were also 4. It was the Gotham Grind, the Knickerbocker, and the Knickerbocker Reverse, as well as the Everything Bagel. And actually, at the moment for the Tour de Zwift, the stage 5 the medium or the stage 5 takes place in New York, where the short ride is the Gotham Grind, the medium one is the Knickerbocker Reverse, and the long one is the Everything Bagel. But since we just did those, I figured why not continue with our badge hunting and see if we can unlock yet another route. That will certainly help us getting to our goal of unlocking or having ridden all available routes on Zwift before the end of the year. Also, those 15K here should work quite nicely for us to finish before the race starts. The race for the C category, stage 4 of the Flattest Fast, will happen, I think, 2:10. So we have about 35 minutes left, which should be enough time for us to finish this. And and then hopefully we'll be primed and ready to go for some actual racing, which I'm really looking forward to. Later tonight, I'm also considering jumping on the Electric Spirit crit race that starts at 8:15 Chinese Standard Time in the evening. And for those who have been following me, this was the first C category ride that I actually won. And that was December last year. And then we had a couple of health-related issues. First getting COVID, and then just last week having had some food poisoning that took us out for a couple of days. But we're feeling okay. So we are hoping to be able to do something good on the ride later. I actually saw that for the C category, I think there were more than 20 people signed up when I last checked, which would be quite nice, because that will then give us a real test. Sometimes if you're lucky and you are able to hold to the A or B cat riders for a little longer than your C compatriots, then this will secure you the win. So if it's like 5-6 people, that might be a little bit easier than, let's say, 20 or 30 people. I'm sure there are way more people who will be able to hang on to the higher category riders. But we shall see. So I'm quite excited about this. And I'm sure you will be hopefully rooting for me to at least do all right. We actually have no plans of, or we are not getting into the race thinking that we should win this or will win this. We are just getting into this to try to stay in the top group as long as we can. And if it comes down to a sprint, and then hopefully will be able to sprint for podium, or at least for, let's say, top 20% would be nice today. So we've been going about 30K an hour on average. We did 5K in 10 minutes. So, which means everything staying the same would mean we'll be able to finish this ride in about 30 minutes, which would be fine. Would leave a couple of minutes for us to drink something and then get ready for the race. But I do think there's some climbing coming up, because the total is 170 meters, I think. And we only have done 24 so far. Yeah, which means that this is what's going to happen now when we are turning left here onto the volcano KOM. Luckily, I have changed my gearing on my kicker bike to a 3x, which makes it a little bit easier to find the right gear. Yeah, we were on Zwift today a little bit later than we originally planned. I was actually planning on doing about 1.5 hour endurance ride, just doing our standard 130 watts for some extended amount of time. But there were some issues. One was that yesterday my computer automatically updated to Windows 11, which in itself is maybe not a big deal. But yeah, the problem was that some programs didn't work properly, had to reinstall some drivers. On top of that, the microphone, for whatever reason, got much quieter. Which is really annoying, because I'm not quite sure of how to increase the volume. And maybe you actually appreciate that, not having to listen to me. But of course you can always mute if I get too annoying. But so at least I would still like to be able to leave some messages and give some commentary. And that was, yeah, not really possible. And yeah, so I hope it's okay now. I tried to update all the drivers, went on the website of Realtek, which is the company providing the audio card, which the microphone, of course, is part of. So yeah, I just checked briefly. It seems okay. If not, if it's still too quiet, I might try to boost the volume in post-production, which sounds way fancier than it is, because I generally just trim the videos and that's it. But if there is a button that I can click for improving the volume, then of course I will. So let's see how it goes. Also, we can tell that this is not very that's not a very professional setup here. The microphone I'm using is actually tethered to the mic jack plug-in, and there are way better options now with Whole mics or other companies, other brands. But I essentially just wanted to see how this works and if there's some value in continuing to putting videos out. Then of course we will make sure that we get some equipment that allows for really good audio and video quality. As for the video, at the moment I'm simply using my webcam from the laptop, which of course is also not ideal, but I hope at some point I will have a setup where I actually do have a bigger screen, and if I do that, then I will probably implement a proper webcam and attach it to the top of the screen, and then we'll see how it goes. A co-worker of mine is actually leaving China in about a week's time, and he has a nice big monitor at home, and I was promised that monitor once he leaves. So hopefully in a week or 2 weeks time I will be able to have a slightly better setup. We'll see. All right. So far this route definitely deserves its name with a whole lot of lava, because there has been lots of lava going through the volcano multiple times. We're still on the climb, still on the volcano KOM. And as per usual, I haven't quite looked at the time when we started the climb or the kilometers, which means that I have no idea when this climb is going to be over. But shouldn't really matter, as we are simply chugging along and essentially trying to warm up for the race. So I think in the next somewhat flatter section we'll probably use the power up, because on the top of this mountain, we should get another one. Also time-wise, it does look like we are going to be relatively close to our previous best, which of course is nothing spectacular, because yeah, we are going up here with 140 watts. That's 1.7 or so watts per kilo. Nothing really important. One thing that actually just happened today is that I adjusted my weight, because I haven't been on a scale for quite some time, and I had a very good dinner yesterday, and without doing any particular preparations, right after I woke up, I went on the scale and actually saw that we were below 77 kilos. And yeah, with how things have been going, we're probably closer to 76. So, or even below that. So as I mentioned previously, I will do like a trailing adjustment to the weight, just to make sure that we don't do any weight doping. But yeah, if there's like a kilo or two that we went down, then of course we will adjust, because it will make it just a little bit easier to get up those mountains. And that's of course much appreciated. Let's spread some love, send some ride-ons. The Zwift companion app was also acting up a little bit today. Just now, after I gave a ride-on, it just automatically went back to the home screen, and then it takes for me to manually tap in and out and click home screen again for it to show the map again. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, we are quite a bit behind our personal best, about half a minute. So no need to do anything drastic and trying to catch up with ourselves. We'll just take whatever number we will get. So there's 6K to go, which at this speed would be 36 minutes. But there is a big downhill coming up. And hopefully we'll be able to make it to the race. Make it to the race in time, that is. Didn't pick up power up. That's okay. So in about 15 minutes, we should head over to the race pen. Also, we should think about maybe using more aero wheels, because the ride is going to be in London on a very flat course where we have about, I want to say 90 meters vertical over 15K or so. So maybe aero is a little bit better on that one. So maybe I can have a quick look at the events and see if I can actually get the exact values. Yeah, so it says it's on London Classic, which is 16.6 kilometers long and has 95 vertical meters. And it's, yeah. So again, we are doing 2 laps. We're doing 2 laps on the London Classic. So about 50 vertical meters per lap and 8.4K, 8.3K. Yeah, not sure. Probably a good idea to get pure aero wheels on. In the C category, there are 43 people signed up, which is quite nice. So if this were true, then top 20 means, top 20% would mean 8, 9. Yeah, and the top 9, which we'll see how it goes. I have to say I'm actually really quite excited about this, because I haven't really been on a race for a long time. A couple of days ago I was on stage 2 of the Tour de Zwift, and that although it's supposed to be just a ride, that quickly devolved into a race, and I had the highest heart rate I ever had on a Zwift race or biking on Zwift of 181 beats per minute, averaging about 2.8 watts per kilo over just a little shy of half an hour. And that all after, I think it was only 5 days or so after our first negative test. And we were definitely not quite feeling 100%, not even close. So we'll see what we can do today. C category is here defined as an FTP of 2.5 to 3.2. And the last time we did an FTP test, we did the RAM test. I talked in earlier videos, I talked about this. I did a RAM test and didn't read all the instructions and got very confused when I saw that I was pushing more than 300 watts. Thought I did something wrong and didn't know that they would take only 75% of the best 1 minute effort. So I stopped it a little bit too early. Certainly didn't empty the tank, but still came out with an FTP of pretty much bang on 3.0, and that was when I was still 2 or 3 kilos heavier than now. So we hope that if we do another test in maybe a month, that this number will have improved. Okay, perfect. So we have 10 minutes left to join the race. We are just about 1 kilometer away from the finish line. We should get the route badge because that's the shortest route that we haven't completed yet in Watopia of 15.5. And of course there will be some really epic ones, Three Sisters and all the climbing that we'll do later this quarter. And I will definitely suffer. But yeah, today we took it easy, we took it slow. We just use it as a warm-up. We feel we are warmed up quite nicely. We will probably continue at least to kilometer 16, if not 17. Get 40 more XP points in addition to the XP points that we should get for completing the route, which again, I have no idea of how many points it's going to be. My guess is relatively short, so my guess is 110. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, we stayed. Actually, it took us 15 minutes to get out of zone 1 and into zone 2. And we're almost 16. And the rest of the time we were in zone 2. What's a little concerning is that we are constantly getting disconnected. So I don't think it's the bike's fault, because that seems to be connected continuously. Seems to be as if the internet is cutting out. But so we made it. 178 meters. Oh, 240 XP points. Great. Fantastic. And yeah, I'll push to 17K. Should take about another 2 minutes. And then we have still enough time to get over into the pen. Think about if you want to change bike and or wheels. And yeah. Yeah, Watopia is the one world that is always available. So that's why we left our routes, we left most of them open here, because all other worlds are on a rotation, and it may take a week or 10 days until you'll be able to do some of the rides again. In Watopia, that's not the case. But as I mentioned earlier, today was the first time where we actually had nothing left to be done in the other two worlds, in the guest worlds, New York and Mercury Island. So we could have just gone with a pace partner, but it seemed very convenient to knock one more route out of the park and have a proper warm-up for the race. Anyways, okay, we are close to 17, so I say bye here. Hope to see you on the race later. And as always, ride hard, have fun, tight. See you in the next video. Bye bye.